It's really interesting that having different political opinions doesn't make you immune from acting like idiots. This person said both woke towards Dragon Age Vilgard and Expedition 33. Why? They're not even remotely comparable in terms of wokeness. Dragon Age Vilgard is the absolute clear winner in that fight, but winning on which game is the most woke is like winning on which leftist politics are more insufferable. Are people's definition of woke so loose these days that they're just gonna say that to anything they don't like? The same way the other side call random things fascist? The only real difference is that woke Expedition 33 is actually a good game. So you don't really care whether the game is good or not now. We only care if the game is woke. You wonder why I call these people activists and not gamers. Good games sell. It's that simple. Good games should be the only thing that self-proclaimed gamers care for. If you want to be an anti-woke political activist, more power to you, but you do not get to use this platform to spread your politics, especially if those politics are based on unsubstantiated nonsense. What are the examples of Expedition 33 being woke again? In my profile in a few days, I will have a review that will show this. A grifter political activist. Here's a BS claim that I make. Watch my channel to see more. You both will be blocked because you obviously are here to receive attention you don't get anywhere else. Oh, sorry, my bad. A spineless grifter political activist. It's not an uncommon occurrence, mind you. Politics will rot your brain, people, especially when you're seeing everyone as your enemies. Let's move on from political brain rot to just bad game takes brain rot. The popularity of Expedition 33 continues with even more dumb takes. Something that's missing from the discussion of Expedition 33's success is that it's an adult story with mature themes. Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about. I absolutely love Expedition 33's story, but to suggest that the story is more mature than your average RPG is an incredibly bizarre assessment. I don't judge the stories of RPGs for how adult or mature they are, and praising one for having an adult or mature story implies that other RPGs don't have that kind of luxury, even though they absolutely do, and it implies that you cannot enjoy a story unless it's mature or adult. I guess because you people look at the anime art style and immediately think that it's immature, the Tales of games are rife with twists and turns of the typical JRPG fantasy formula. You'd know if you actually play the games and not get immediately triggered by anime art style. It doesn't treat the audience like an idiot. If you feel like you're being treated like an idiot for playing JRPGs, chances are it's because you are. If I see one more RPG taking place in high school or winning with the power of friendship, I'm going to scream. First off, taking place in high school doesn't necessarily make it not mature. See Yakuza Like a Dragon for a great example of this. It's a cast of adults and the game is about as mature as your average high school anime. Second, the power of friendship is not an immature topic to tackle. I know, because the very same game that you talked about, that you said has mature and adult themes, allows you to deepen your relationship with your party members to improve your combat effectiveness, which is quite literally the power of friendship. All that while the characters joke around, banter, have fun, the same way other JRPG parties banter around, joke, and have fun. The whole expedition party wouldn't have survived if it weren't for the friends they made along the way. They repeatedly acknowledge that they're way stronger together throughout the plot, and that they wouldn't be able to go through it without each other. Which is why that early chapter twist was incredibly effective, because you were very close to your party members at that point. So for all the talk of the game being way more mature and adult, beyond all that semi-realistic Western video game art style, Expedition 33 still has a lot of the classic JRPG story tropes that make them special. It's almost like it was made with genuine passion and love for the genre. I'm telling you, people are really turned off with the anime art style. Even though once you move past that, the story contained within these games is no less mature or adult. Here's another aspect that people don't like about JRPGs. Turn-based combat gets quite a lot of hate. This person spent 3 hours building a character in Baldur's Gate 3 only to realize that the game is turn-based, and they hate turn-based RPGs. Then why do you buy Baldur's Gate 3? Why didn't you do your research before you buy the game? Also, the same person plays Pokemon competitively by strategizing and building teams. Yeah, this is bait. People with different tastes? More like people who didn't do their research. Maybe research the games that you're going to spend $50 to $70 on. Who's putting $50 to $70 on something? Oh, I don't know, the gamers that are gonna buy the game? Maybe you haven't been paying attention, but that's been the price of games lately. That's why you should do your research before you spend that amount of money. Unless you think burning that money isn't that big of a deal for you. Speaking of spending money, let's talk about the people that don't spend money. Despite anime distribution being more or less legal with the streaming services providing the whole thing, anime piracy is still thriving, and it's still one of the alternative methods of distributing anime to the wider world. Thanks to anime being more widely accessible in streaming websites, we also got more and more fans and casuals entering this anime world, coexisting with the veterans who had to sail the seas to get the latest fan translations. Some speculate on who's buying anime merch more. Are they the casual fans that merely watch anime from their favorite legal streaming services that are widely and easily accessible as long as you have a credit card? Or are they the sailors of the seven seas that have been watching anime since before they have any official Western releases? Honestly, I don't know, but considering that anime is more accessible these days through streaming services, I do think that there is a significant amount of casual, non-pirate viewers buying anime merchandise these days. It's reasonable to assume that is the case, considering how easily accessible anime are these days, or at least the most recent and most popular ones. Even so, some also argue that most of the money that came from overseas are from streaming services rather than merchandise. I'm not quite sure about the data on that, but unless the anime is specifically made for a more global appeal, most anime are made for Japanese people and weebs who are into Japanese culture and how they do their animated series. So even if it's true that the overseas revenue are mostly from streaming, it's probably not the most significant earner in the anime business. Moving on from Japanese media, let's talk about Western media. The state of MCU right now is incredibly concerning. I wanted to see Captain America Brave New World on the theaters, but I have a scheduling conflict. I did catch it on streaming, and the best way to compliment this mediocre slop of a movie is that I did not hate it. So congratulations, Captain America Brave New World. I did not hate you, and you are a slight improvement over the trash that was Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That being said, Thunderbolts is surprisingly decent. Finally, some decent freaking Marvel, with a genuine heart and love towards the superhero genre, despite having a cast of Marvel Z-listers. Granted, it's not the best MCU movie and it has plenty of major flaws, but I do think that Thunderbolts is a decent step forward compared to a lot of the MCU slops that we've been getting. So good job, Marvel Studios. I can't wait to see how you screw up Fantastic Four this time. Thunderbolts, or should I say Thunderflop, is doing really bad at the box office. Okay, nice of you to let us know about how badly Thunderbolts is doing in the box office. It's doing so badly that it's the 6th highest grossing film of 2025. That's not what I call a flop, and I don't think it performed below expectations either. It performed within expectations of a Marvel movie involving Z-listers. The movie's getting a lot of negative reviews by these reviewers and others. Who? I'm not quite sure why you hold their negative reviews in such high regard. If their review is negative, that's their review. I find the movie pretty enjoyable. The Movie Cynic's negative review is coming out really soon. You can cry harder now, MCU Glazer. MCU Glazer is not something that I would describe myself. Like I said, the MCU is in a concerning state right now, but I do have to give every release a fair shake. I find Brave New World so mediocre that I'm impressed that I came out of the movie not hating it, but Thunderbolts is genuinely decent. Not the best, not the worst, but it is enjoyable enough. But sorry, Thunderbolts and the MCU, my obsession towards Final Destination Bloodlines' machination of deaths and destruction is still my most anticipated movie of this decade. And I am so glad that it delivered, because that movie is absolutely freaking awesome. And I do want to see it annihilates everything else at the box office. Speaking of Marvel, let's talk about the most common complaint of Marvel rivals, or at least common to some moral guardians. We talk about this all the time. Marvel rivals try not to sexualize the women characters. Difficulty impossible. Why wouldn't they try not to sexualize the characters? Having the female character sexualized is a good thing if you ask me. The same with the male characters too. This screenshot is the Squirrel Girl's new skin that absolutely shows her assets. I mean, my god.
God, you are killing me with that booty.
God forbid that people are being horny towards fictional characters, right? People tell me they hate Korra, but my pictures of her are always super popular. Why is that? Actually, I think The Legend of Korra is a mixed bag. Every stuff that I find genuinely awesome is equalized with 1 or 2 straight up awful garbage. Definitely inferior to The Last Airbender in so many ways, but I can't separate the show from the artwork, just like most people. Also, goon.
You need to goon, Dante, goon. Oh yes, for power.
Some people really have issues with 18+ art. Every person who bitches about all art is political are always retweeting this gooner BS. The hell is wrong with you? We have fully functional hormones. I'm sorry that you don't. Just because I don't retweet porn or gooner bait doesn't mean anything. It does mean you lack any forms of hormones or sex drive. If that is what you think being sexually active is, then you're just another internet loner who thinks they're smarter than you actually are. That's just an insult. You're not responding to whether you have a sexual drive or not. If you do, then you would understand why people would retweet 18 plus art. But since you're asking what's wrong with people when they retweet 18 plus art, it sounds like you have no sex drive or can't comprehend why people have sex drive. I don't give a damn about any personal attacks you have said. Your kids must have a sad existence if you're their father. I hope CPS comes soon and does the right thing. Wow, look at that barrage of insults. None of these actually refute our point that you have no sex drive, so thank you for the confirmation. I really think that people should not care about what others do with fictional characters. I asked ChatGPT about this new ship. Why? Why did you ask ChatGPT about a fictional character's ship? What kind of question did you ask? Whether it's valid or not? There's nothing wrong with it. Of course, there's nothing wrong with it. The same way there's nothing wrong with any other fictional ships. I really don't know why you're getting really up in arms about this. The human version of Durin et Scaramucci is a valid and normal ship. I'm sorry, but what makes them valid and normal? What are the criteria of a valid and normal ship? ChatGPT approved? Ship whoever you like in fiction. They're all fictional characters anyway. They're not real, and they're not gonna affect anyone. First time seeing a game company doing the player's job by reducing their own characters to waifus. Yeah, game companies like Hoyo capitalize on gamers and weebs that love to collect waifus in their gacha lineup. This is really not that surprising if you're familiar with any of the Hoyo games, or any gacha games for that matter. I'm not sure why this is such an issue for you. And that's all for the video today. Thank you all so much for watching. If you made it to the end, here's a cat. Before we close this video, huge thanks to all these wonderful sponsors. You are all fantastic. If you want to see your name among these legends, then check out the links below, just $1. And you'll support this channel a lot. Seriously, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you all next time.